Hi there, jewelers, and welcome to the Studio for Art and Craft. This is Jackie, and I'm going to walk through all the bits of the jeweler badge that you're going to do. This is going to be a very fun event because first I'm going to do a couple of demos that you need to see, and then we're going to do 4 projects together. So the first thing I'm going to do is introduce you to some basic jewelry making tools, and I've put them out here. This is what you would use if you were making beaded jewelry. So these, the 2 green-handled pliers, are called chain nose pliers. They're kind of straight and tapered, and they're smooth on the inside. And these are what you would use to hold on to little tiny bits of jewelry things. Let me just show you. All right, so you could use that to grab onto this ring on this side, and then use the other one. I always need 2 of these because I grab the other one on this side. And then, for example, can you see me opening that up? I think you probably can. And then closing it again. That's what you use these pliers for. This is a round nose plier. This is something you would use for making loops out of wire. These also happen to have cutters on the insides of them, but oftentimes you'll have other cutters. And this is just a crimp. This is for when you're making beaded jewelry and you have a wire, you put something called a crimp bead on the end of it, and then you smash it with these, and that's what holds your jewelry together. So those are some of the basic tools that if you were getting started in beaded jewelry, you would want to have hold of. One of the other requirements for the badge is to learn a craft from another country. And what I wanted to show you is kumihimo, okay, which is something that is both new to you probably, but also going to be very familiar. So these are 2 pieces that I have made. Obviously, this is a necklace that I hung a bead on, and this is a bracelet where I used a button on one end and then made a loop in here to put the button through, okay, to put the bracelet on and off. So that's a really simple kind of a device. And the one I'm about to show you how you do it with also has that button on it. So what you're going to do is you start, this is called a beading, or a kumihimo disc, sorry. And this is really braiding. If you've done, what's that called? Plastic lacing, or even it's not that different than making friendship bracelets. It's got a lot of similarities to that. It's basically braiding. So in this case, this is called an 8-strand weave. And you can see I have 8 strands of satin cord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when you start with, you'd make a knot at one end, and then you put 2 cords around the big dots on each top, bottom, and left and right. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take one. I always start from the left on the bottom. This is my bottom. Start from the left and bring it up to the left here. Then I'm going to take the one on the right, because now I have 3 here and only 1 here. Sad. And take that down and put it to the right. Then I'm going to turn. And as you can see, I put an arrow on mine, so I always turn it in the same direction. It ultimately doesn't matter what way you turn it, as long as it's always the same. So I'm going to do up from the left to the left, and down from the right to the right, and turn. Up to the left from the left, down to the right from the right, and turn. Now, you got the basic idea of that. Whenever I need to stop, I don't stop with it like this, because I would not know where I left off. So what I do is I would do this, up to the left from the left. And that way, if I walk away, I don't see it for a minute, then I come back, I can look at this and go, oh, I know, since there's 3 up here, that this is my next move to come down from the right to the right and turn. So I hope that makes sense to you. I'm going to flip this up so you can see what I'm making. So you can see here's my button that I put on the end, and here's the beginning of my bracelet. So that is a demonstration of kumihimo. So now you're going to get to the part that you probably are most interested in, which is making stuff yourself. And the first thing I'm going to do with you guys is to make the this little charm. Where's the way? Okay, so let me just show you this first. So this is what you guys are doing today. This is a necklace that has 3 charms on it. Okay, it has metal stamped with your initial. And this is some of the other requirements for the badge are to use found objects. So this is a bottle cap with a design that you make in it. And then this is, well, I'm not going to tell you what it is. You can see it's a bead. I'm wondering if you can figure out what it is. And then the other thing we're going to do, which I think you'll really like as well, is this hydro dipped bracelet cuff. Okay, it's a metal cuff. It just slides right onto your. Oops, I'm not right-handed, so there we go. So never put anything on my left wrist before. Okay, so that's what that is. So those are the things we're going to do. You know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to start with the hydro dipping, partially because you guys probably want to start with that in your meeting because it has to dry, and it doesn't take long to dry, but it does have to dry. So here's the water that we're going to use. That's the hydro part of hydro dipping. And then here's my hand inside the glove. You only need one glove for one hand. Just use one hand for this. Also in your kit are 4 different colors of marbling paints. Okay, these are special paints designed specifically for hydro dipping. You want to shake them up really, really well. All right, and then you're going to add, you can use any amount of, any different, you can use all 4 colors or not, but you're just going to add a few drops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 5 drops of each color. Probably should have opened these ahead, sorry about that. All right, so let's just say I'm going to do all the colors, or most of the colors. Ooh, that red's going to be pretty vibrant. The other thing you can do when you're adding the paints is you don't have to avoid the ones you have. You can definitely put color on top of other colors. Ooh, that's sweet. Okay. And now I can't not add the purple, right? Because I have to show you all of them. All right, so. All right, so there's some color. And all I'm going to do is take my plane, and I'm just going to hold it right on the edge here, okay, in my gloved hand. So here's the edge. I want to hold as little of it as possible. And it's a very quick move once you've put this in. I'm just going to dip it through and pull it out. All right, and let's see if I can turn it right side up for you. So you can see the color on there. I got them all, and I have a little rack over here that I'm sending for you guys. And you can use that to dry, to let your bracelet dry on. So that's what you're going to do. The next thing you want to do to get the water ready for your next person is you have a little piece of paper, and you're just going to skim the paints that you did off the top. Okay, that's it. Fancy, fancy, all done. And that is the basics of hydro dipping. All right, so you guys can pause me while you all do that if you want, or if your leader has figured it all out by now, you can, you're not even watching this anymore. So that was our hydro dip bracelet. So now I'm gonna move on to working on, clean up my space a little bit, the metal stick. Oh, take off my glove. Remember, when you take off a glove that's all gooky on the outside, you're going to pull it over your hand so that the outside now becomes the inside. That's the secret of good glove removal. Yes, there's such a thing. So in your kit is this is kind of the mat helps absorb some of the bang of the metal stamping in this incredibly heavy little block that we are going to take your little charm that's in your kit. And what you want to do, because I've already put the jump rings on the top of them. Can you see that hanging off of there? I think you can. So you can't put it here because it won't lay flat, and this has to lay flat. So you're going to put it off the edge. You're going to take your whatever letter you want. This happens to be the letter A. All right, and you're always, the way you hold it is with your thumb on the side with the letter. And you're going to put that wherever you want. Definitely going to do that with my right hand because I'm going to bang with my left because I'm left-handed. Okay, so I'm holding it right on there. Now, here's the key thing. You have to give it one good whack. It doesn't have to be super hard. It just has to be one. You can't go whack, whack, whack because it will give you shadows on your letter. So hold it in place. One whack gets you your A. That's a really sharp-looking A. Can you see it? Yes, you can. But not really as well as I'd like you to see it. So now you don't need your block anymore. Pass it on to the next person. What you're going to do is take this paint marker that I'm shaking up that I gave you, and you're going to use that to scribble over your A. And as you can see, I didn't scribble carefully or anything like that. I just scribbled. I'm kind of letting it rest for a minute. Okay. Watching paint dry. It's a big part of my life. All right, let's say that's enough. If not, I'll do it again. And I'm just gonna wipe it off without digging, just wipe across so that all the stuff on the top comes off. And I don't know if you can tell, it's hard on the camera. Let me get it out of the glare. But the A comes a lot clearer when it has the black paint in it. If it's not dark enough for you, no big deal, just do it again. You can put the black on again. You just can't hit it twice, that's all. All right, so now we're gonna work on, let's see, we have the bracelet, we have that charm. Let's do, oh, this one. So then you have the bottle cap. Like I said, we've already put a jump ring on it. And you have that, and you have a little round circle. And you have this clear cap. And you have a thing of markers. I just took 2 out. So you're gonna draw whatever you want on your marker, on your paper. I'm gonna go really simple here because I know watching me draw is not probably the highlight of your day. These are great markers, of course, because there's 2 colors on each one. So I'm just making a cute little colorful design. Let's just pretend that this is enough. I know yours will be better. Represent you. Oh, the other thing you have is a glue stick. Oops, sorry, glue stick. So what I would do next is take my little glue stick, add a little bit of glue to the back of my piece. All right, and this is not permanent. I mean, this doesn't matter that much. It's just what holds it inside for a millisecond. And then this disc, when you take off the back, it's sticky. What I do is it has a protective coating plastic on the top. I take off the bottom and I'll just leave the plastic coating on there so that when I press it down, I don't get my fingerprint on it. And then I'll take it off, sorry. All right, so there you are. You can always use either of these things just to buff it clean if you need to. But that will give you your second charm. And then your last one, trying to keep my workspace tidy. Okay, so that was this, right? The last charm made from a found object. I think this one was called Everyday Object, and this is called a found object, or maybe it's the other way around. In any case, here's my object that I found. I found it in my laundry room. It's a clothespin. So what I'm gonna do is actually take the clothespin apart, which is kind of fun unto itself. And then it's always fun coming up with things to do with the clothespin parts. Sorry, I am just mangling this today. There we go. It's really not hard to get them apart. All right, and there we go. And we're simply gonna take our bead. You pick out the bead that you want to use. Sorry, like I said, I'm very left-handed, so I have to switch hands. And I'm just going to squeeze them apart, slide my bead on. Oops, I was coming off camera. I apologize for that. Actually, I think the other one is the better one to put it on first because it's longer, right? Nope, they're the same. Bummer for me, I dropped that one on the floor, so I'm gonna take this one off and put that one on. Actually, now that I took it off, I could just put it on here. All right, so let's try that again. Sorry about that. There, it's super easy. I don't know why I was struggling. Slide it on one, and then take the other one and slide it inside and squeeze them together. Alrighty, there you are. So now what you can do with all of your pieces, except for your bracelet, of course, is you've got your beaded chain, and I usually will slide, you know, the little initial charm, then my bottle cap, and then my found object, my clothespin bead, and just close the top by sticking that in there. Oops, sticking it in there, holding it in and just squeezing it down. All right, then it goes right over your head. So that's when you leave today, you're gonna have 2 things. You're gonna have a necklace with your 3 charms on it. And wait for it. Here's my bracelet, all nice and almost dry. It's not dry yet. Putting it back to dry more. So I'll share with you the one that I already made. Okay, so this is it. So girls, go ahead, have a great time. Enjoy your jewelry. And if you ever want to learn more, you want to learn more about making beaded jewelry, let me know. Have fun.